Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My hormones make me a nutcase. Hope you're all doing well.
Hello, hello. Oh,
So,
she's frozen on the
today,
screen.
oh no,
Oh, she's
we're
moving
back.
again. Hello, we're back.
We're back. Great start.
Mm.
So, today we're going to be talking all about injuries, our
Yeah,
injuries, your injuries, all the injuries.
so relevant right now, and has been so relevant in the past 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think at some point, probably like 99.9% of people have had some form of injury, right?
Oh, absolutely. And when you do your PT qualification, they're like, you can't PT anyone with injuries. And I'm like, wow, what's the point of being a PT then? Because I'd have like no clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Because everyone has done something or has something, and yeah, you have to work around, and it's just the way it is, isn't it?
100%. And a lot of the time, what you tell someone, then they go and see a physio and they go, oh, the physio told me to do what you told me to do. And I'm like, cool.
Oh,
But yeah, obviously we don't know the ins and outs of everything. There's sometimes you do really need to go see like a physio or an osteo or a chiropractor and all that. But sometimes you can guarantee if someone's got a bad back
yeah,
that they go, oh, your core doesn't work, it's not strong enough, or your glutes need working. Like, do some glute bridges. Like they're just the things that
yeah,
most people tend to get told, right? Because
yeah,
they don't want to send them to go and actually get a scan done to see if there's actually bulging discs or slip discs or something really like serious going on.
yeah. I suppose, well, I'll start off talking about what's happened with me. I suppose it's maybe a good place to start.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think mine was, so I was training for the marathon, and I can't remember whether, because I was getting slight pains when I was doing Iranian deadlifts. But in all honesty, I can't remember if that happened before the training or afterwards. I think it was after the training. Um, but anyway, I had something in my hip that I felt it go as I was running, and it was like severely painful. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. Went to the physio, and he said it was tendonitis. Said that I either basically it was like you shouldn't really run anymore. So I stopped training. Anyway, did the marathon still 4 weeks later. And then, do you know what? I can't even probably remember now, but I was getting back pain somewhere in there. I'm sure it was after the hip injury. I'm sure that was what triggered it. I was starting to notice like it pulling when I was doing Iranian deadlifts. The pain would kind of flare up and go down. I would like sometimes lean over and it would feel like something was like catching. Um, anyway, so I carried on seeing the physio. Eventually, he told me that he didn't know what it was. Went online to private physio, another private physio. They weren't sure. So then I thought, well, whatever, I'm just going to keep going. So I kept training, going to the gym, but there were certain things that I realized that made it worse. So I was kind of always a little bit cautious. But then I think I realized, right, I've actually got to start thinking about doing something about this now because I don't want to live like this forever. Saw the osteo. He told me that he thought I had some trapped nerves, potentially like a bulging disc. Um, we kind of deloaded and then started again building things up. I was seeing him for a long time. And then eventually, I was like, nothing is now improving. It's kind of just stayed the same. And I was implementing a lot of the stuff that he was telling me to do. So eventually, I just stopped going. And then now it still just kind of flares up. And certain things make it worse, certain things are okay. I've stopped doing a lot of compound moves at the gym. I'm really cautious of stuff that I do because I'm really worried to make it worse. So I feel like it's really affecting me, like exercise wise, and I love going to the gym and doing that stuff. So I thought, right, I'm going to go to the doctors, see whether maybe there is a bulging disc. Can they do a scan? Blah blah blah. And the physio basically just told me that I need to strengthen my core. So
There you go.
it's like you only need a scan if I feel like you need an operation. And I don't think you need an operation because you're healthy, whatever. And I was like, right, okay,
But that's just a load of shit. Like, just because you're healthy and you move and stuff doesn't mean you don't have like something severely going on with your discs in your back. Like, no one can see that. Like, the only way you can see that is if you have a scan.
yeah,
I know plenty of people that are fit and healthy and have got degenerative discs, or like they've got fused spines now because their discs just literally crumble. Like, and that's not because they're unhealthy.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that's what you've got, by the way.
No,
Just annoying.
yeah. And it's annoying as well because he did all like these different, told me to do all these different moves, and like nothing actually hurt apart from one thing that I lay on my front and he pressed a certain point in my back, and that really hurt. But apart from that, all the movements that he asked me to do didn't make it hurt. But then there'll be times where things that I will do, like I did a workout the other day, I bent down and picked the weight up, and then my back was gone for like 2 days because it twinged it. So it's like random things, and sometimes I'll lean in a certain direction. But when they tell me go over to this side, go over to that side, those things don't make it hurt. So then there's like, oh yeah, it seems fine. Do you know what I mean? Which is annoying.
Yes, it is annoying because it's not actually they're doing things that aren't that you're not not you're doing. Oh, fudge. The tests that they're doing aren't tests that you do in your everyday life, right? The things that do
Yeah,
actually affect it. Like you almost need to pick up a dumbbell, like in the way that you would, to then go,
yeah,
oh, there, that point, that's where it hurts. So they've got more of a realistic thing. It's like I've always had asthma my whole life, like since I was little. But no one ever picked it up, and it wasn't until I understood what exercise-induced asthma was that was like, okay, you've never tested me before, because on a day to day, I don't feel like I need an asthma, like a pump.
yeah,
But when I'm doing this, when I'm sprinting, or when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, oh my God, the amount of times I've had to like try and calm myself down before I'm like my breathing goes absolutely like mad. And
yeah.
it's only been in the last couple of years where they've actually given me an inhaler and been like, oh, actually, you do have asthma. I'm like, it's because you're testing at the wrong point.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
And it's not helpful because then they're going, oh, like it's like when you book a doctor's appointment, don't you, when you're really ill, and then you turn up and you're not actually that ill anymore because you're like, well, it's been 2 weeks. Like I was dying
Yeah,
2 weeks ago. Like now I'm all right. But it's all those things, and I feel like, yeah, they don't necessarily test you. And I understand they're under like there's so many people wanting things and under pressure and all that, but that's not helpful. It's not helpful for you.
it's not. And I said, well, do you think the hip could be related? And he was like, well, yes, because they're all, connected. I was like, right. And then he was like, but your hip, like so he moved my leg around and he was like, but your hip's fine now. And I was like, but sometimes when I run, I can feel the pain that I had when I was training in my hip.
Mm.
But it felt fine when I moved your leg. I don't think you're quite understanding what I'm saying to you. Like, there's
You're not
obviously a
listening.
weakness there still, or an inflammation or something going on there, because it's not there day to day all the time, but sometimes I feel it. And when I do certain exercises, physio gave me a while back to strengthen it, I can feel that it's weaker.
Mm.
And it's just, but that's not, he was just kind of like, I don't know, that wasn't really, he just didn't really say anything to that. But so yeah, I haven't really learned anything from this. I mean, I'm going to see a chiropractor in July, so might as well try the third thing and see what they say. But yeah,
It's madness though, isn't it? Because then you have to try all these different people until you get the right one that goes, this is it. This is the thing,
yeah,
right? Like I've done that when I had, oh, my shoulder was causing me so much pain. I remember when I worked at the Seagull when I was like 16. Why fly? Yeah. Sorry, there was a fly in my face. And I came in once and was like, God, my shoulders hurt. And then I used to food run a lot. And if you've ever worked at a Hungry Horse, you know the plates are like giant size. Like, and I used to take like two, three like two up one arm, one on the other. And then when I was carrying plates back, I'd stack them up because I'm like, I'm not doing 10 trips. I'll just do one. Like, and I remember coming in being like, oh my God, my shoulder's killing me. I was like, I can't food run. Well, I can only not food run for a couple of days because like they're like, no, we need you on food run. Like, to my detriment, I was quick ran the restaurant. So they'd be like, no, you have to be on food run. And I'll be like, oh, good God. Okay, fine. Just let me do desserts. I like doing desserts. Anyway, like for like 10 uh 10 16. Wait, when did I go? I went to the last person when I was like 25. So in between being 16 and 25, I had seen four different physios and not one of them could tell me what was wrong with my shoulder. They put me in a gym, they made me do all these exercises, and I'd be in so much pain. And I'm like, like, this is ridiculous. Like, not one of you has any idea. Like, and then you get to a certain point, and then be like, oh, we can't do anything for you anymore. We're going to discharge you. Come back if it's any worse. And I'm like, I'm here because it's causing me pain. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then when I got to like 25, 26, started being a PT, I was like, do you know what? Screw this. Like, I went to my friend, she's a physio, and I was like, is there something we can do? Like, do you know someone that can help me? She was like, there's a girl in, she said, I can't treat you because it would be like at the place, because it would be like, I'm your friend, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
I can send you to the sports therapist. Her name's also Amy. So I was like, okay, that's cool. She said, obviously, I'll tell her what I think, and then she can go off the back of that. Well, within the hour of seeing her, she was like, oh, it's not your shoulder that's causing you problem. You've got the tightest spine up the top. Your thoracic area is really tight. That's causing you shoulder pain. It's referring out. Like, we need to do this, this, and this. And literally, I had a course of like, I was like, I don't care how much it costs. Just give me the sessions. Get it
Yeah.
fixed.
Yeah.
And she did. Like, honestly, it was so much better. And I just needed to find that one person. And then, like I said to you now, since I've been doing like a strength and conditioning program, and doing neck exercises and getting my neck stronger, my shoulder barely ever hurts me. Every now and then it will cause me a bit of pain if I'm just sat a little bit hunched or like driving for a long
Yeah.
time, like little things, but nothing that was like, I used to go and sit on the living room floor and say to mum, please, can you give me a massage like every night because it would cause me so much pain. And I just need
Mhm.
her to like massage it for like a couple of minutes. And then I'm like, oh God, thank God. But it would be like that every night for years. And I just needed to find this one person like 10 years ago. Like, when you're like, oh, like it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, they're like, oh, yeah, your shoulder is really hot when you do this, and it's really like this, but we don't know the problem. And you're like, oh, this is not helpful, bouncing from one to the next. And again, like I did my hip flexor. Not that anyone told me that. I figured it out on my own. Like, but that caused problems with my back. I remember doing a deadlift, like my shin went numb, my leg went weird, like my hip still hurts internally. Like, it doesn't feel like it's necessarily my hip, but I can feel it like right in my glute, almost in my hip.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I walk, every now and then, but then I'll go and get sports massages and try and release like my glutes. But all of that linked with like sent me with a bit of sciatica, like, my back was hurting. I had to do so many different things, like strengthening my hip flexors to be able to do like to run and jump again. Like,
Yeah.
but it's doing these things, like I still would turn up to like body combat, but I just wouldn't do the jumping. Like, I'd
Yeah.
do as much of it as I could, but I still wanted to get my cardio up. Like, I'd still run, I'd play football, but afterwards I'd be like, oh God, that still hurts. Okay, cool. Like, in the moment, it was fine. It would be afterwards.
Yeah. Exactly. That's just the same as mine as well. Like, in the moment it's fine, but it's the after effect, isn't it?
Mm.
And then gets to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's taken me 5, 6 years to now be able to run now without feeling it in my hamstring. And on the odd occasion, I can still feel it a bit in my hamstring. Like last night when I went for a run, pushed it a bit, like I tried to go a bit quicker, and I was like, oh, I can feel it a bit when I sprint, but not as bad
Yeah.
as it was. It used to be like my whole hamstring, and now it's like a little line down the back of my hamstring. But
Yeah.
I make sure I stretch and do all those things. But I think like when you have an injury, it's so difficult. Like, you have to be able to pivot and change what you can do. Like you said, like there's certain exercises you couldn't do. There were certain exercises I couldn't do. I couldn't deadlift for over a year. Like, I couldn't squat for over a year. And now, like, I'm trying to squat now without a bench, last week my IT band didn't like me for it very much. So I was a bit like, we'll give it one more week, see how it goes. And if it really isn't okay this week, I'm gonna take my shoes off and try some different things. If it doesn't work this week, then maybe I just need to forevermore squat to a bench because when I squat to a bench, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I think that's not the hardest thing, isn't it? Like knowing that sometimes you have got to pivot and just do different stuff you don't necessarily want to do and stuff that's like I really miss squatting and deadlifting, and I haven't been able to actually all of the compound moves. If I shoulder press at the barbell, then that really hurts my shoulder, my neck. If I chest press, that also triggers it. The osteopath told me to stop doing that, and I just haven't done it since because I've still got problems there. I now can't squat, barbell squat, and I can't deadlift. I mean, actually, he did say I could do elevated deadlifts, but there isn't the trap bar at my gym, so I can't do it.
Yeah, I suppose you could use two kettlebells and like suitcase deadlift it instead of trap bar in it, but you'd have to put them on a platform. If you've not got a platform, then what do you do?
Exactly, there's no platform, so yeah. So yeah, it's. I know we spoke about it last week, and I got a little bit upset, and I walked out of the thing this morning, and I was like, under my sunglasses, I was like, oh, because it's like, and I can't even imagine what it feels like for people that lose the ability to walk, or all of those kind of things and extreme injuries, because I know firsthand how hard it is now, and I feel like I'm restricted from doing all I want to do, to then be like, that extreme must be horrendous. But because it's upsetting. I think that's what I'm trying to think of the words to say, but it does make you feel, yeah, just a bit restricted and a bit upset about it, because if you want to do those kind of things, and also running helps like clear my head, and I really enjoy going out for those runs, and then I can go, but I do have a little bit of pain, but I worry about it, which I think exaggerates the pain as well. And like the osteo said to me, a lot of the pain stuff is actually in your head. It's like, oh, that's great, but then like, how do I know what's real pain and what's not real pain then? If some of it's in, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of it's in your head. And he's like, if you've had chronic pain for such a long period of time, your body will then just keep giving, like, you will keep getting signals. So then what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do then? I suppose it's like people that have their leg amputated, isn't it? They feel like their leg's still there, even though it's actually not sometimes, and they get like, yeah, it is so difficult because yeah, a lot of pain, like you say, is in your head. I know, like if I go for a run, sometimes, like yesterday, I was thinking, oh, my knee's not hurting, my back doesn't hurt. This is great. I can go quicker. And then as soon as I started thinking about it, my knee started playing up and my back was like, hello. And I'm like, fuck, what did I think about it for? I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Don't do that again. But it is difficult to differentiate whether like you've just got to push through it because actually it's your brain telling you, oh, you've always had pain there, so don't do it, don't do it, because your brain's always going to keep you as safe as possible. Or whether you push through it, I suppose it depends on how bad the pain is afterwards, right? You have a scale of like 1 to 10. If your pain level afterwards is like manageable and only like a 2 or a 3, and like you've got a little bit of a pain and then but in the next couple of days it goes, then you could probably keep doing those things, just don't overdo it. Whereas like if your pain is on a scale of like 8 to 10, then you probably have gone too hard or done something too much.
Yeah, definitely. But like you say, it's just hard to know whether you're like, am I creating more damage, or is it just that my brain is trying to protect me and I'm just, that's the pain. Like, so, and when you've been to so many people and they don't even fully know, then I feel like we're not really giving people answers. We're just sharing kind of our experience. And I'm sure there's other people out there that have experienced very similar things, but it is just infuriating, isn't it? I think just to have an answer, a definitive answer would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you need things like scans and stuff done. And like I think you should like once you've seen a few people, you should be like, look, I've seen this many people, I want a scan. Like I'm entitled to have a scan. Like something needs to be done about this. Like I'm not gonna go to another physio just to be told to do core work and glute work because I've done all that and it doesn't work. Like it might be a case of just being a bit more like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, luckily I do have private healthcare, so I feel really lucky to be in that position. So I'm probably going to go down that route and see if I can get a
Mm.
scan that way. But if you do have to go down the NHS route, well, first of all, getting to see a physio and osteo and all those things are really expensive, rightly so, because they're good at their profession. They who said that after just completely slating them? But there are good ones out there, and there are some that do help. I'm not slating all of them, but they obviously it is an expense. It is a cost that you have to outlay if you want to try and get the help. So then if you go on the NHS route, like today you said, well, I'll be in touch like 6 to 8 weeks from now. Great, okay. Like
Mm.
it's a long time to wait, isn't it? And then to be told we don't need a scan because you don't need to have surgery. Okay, cool. Well, how do you know that though?
Yeah,
um,
you can't see through me.
I was watching, I think it's Holly Brook, follow her on social media and on YouTube, and she does a lot of running and stuff. And she was actually told that she does need to have surgery at some point, but she works with a physio that's helping her. And she runs, like she runs marathons, she does lots of stuff. But at some point, she will need to have surgery. And she's younger than me and you. So yeah, when he
So
said
your
about the
age
age thing,
helps.
yeah,
Like, doesn't mean shit. Like, so many things are like, oh, you're too young for that, but not necessarily. Like, there are people in this world, like, not to be morbid, but like, kids get cancer even though they're not supposed to. Like, things
yeah,
happen at different ages. Like, just because you're young doesn't mean you're immune from everything.
no, no, exactly, exactly. But yeah, I think if you are injured and you can try and reach out for some help, do so. It might take you a few different tries, unfortunately. And it might mean you're on a long waiting list if you go through the NHS and all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely worth trying to speak to someone. I know we haven't really given the best, but you did
Yeah.
find someone that helped you in the end. Do
Mm,
you know what I mean? And the
mm.
osteo definitely did help me in some respects. So yeah,
Yeah. I think the only person I've ever seen when I've seen sports therapists, they've been really helpful. And it's really friggin' annoying because the sports therapist can't like refer you to get like a scan or anything because of where they sit in the tiers. Like you have to go to a physio and the physio is the only one that can refer you for scans and stuff. So it's really annoying because like I said, like sports therapists are the only ones that have ever helped me. And like luckily I haven't needed anything more, but if you do, you then still have to go back down the physio route and then see a physio and all of this stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, like I would definitely recommend seeing someone like that just because from my own experience I've had like it's been like really beneficial. But I think you also need to look at working with someone like even if like because depending on the injury obviously depends on what you can and can't do. However, like sometimes when you get told to rest is not also good. Like just doing nothing is not good. Like
yeah,
so say for example like you roll your ankle. Yes, it hurts to start with. Maybe the first few days, maybe the first week you need to get the swelling down. But doing um uh weight bearing stuff is good for it. Don't like keep hobbling about or try and keep off it. You need to start using it as soon as you can like because otherwise like the recovery rate will be longer. So like I know some people before have been told, oh, you need to rest, and then they just don't do anything, and then they're like, oh man, I feel even worse now. Like mentally they don't feel good, like physically they get stiff, things don't work as well, whereas actually you need to keep going.
100%. And I remember the osteo saying to me, like, yes, you're at risk of getting injured if you do weight train or you exercise or whatever, but you're at a higher risk of injury if you do nothing at all. Like, your
Mm.
body is more likely to fall apart if you're doing nothing. Um, so, yeah, it's so true. And I think there's so many times where I thought to myself, well, maybe I should just rest. And at the beginning, when he told me to deload and just do, I was like, this is horrible because I'm literally like not doing anything at all. But after like 2 weeks, he was like, right, we're going to go heavy, we're going to do this. So we were bringing stuff back in. Like his game plan wasn't to just stop forever. Like you say, it's trying to get back into it, but do it in a way that builds the strength back up.
Absolutely, because you go all guns blazing and you carry on and you don't ever stop or you don't ever dial back what you're doing. Yes, you're probably going to get more injured. So you need to dial those things back, like do some of the stuff, but not as crazy as you were doing it, and then build it back up, like you say, gently to a point where, like I said earlier about the scale, like people that go to physios and stuff work with a lot of scales. Like I've had clients before with like glute tendinopathy and stuff like that, and they were told like if your pain afterwards is like a 2 to 3, and like 2 days later, like there's not like really significant pain or any worse than it already is, then you'll be okay to do that thing. Whereas if it's suddenly on a Richter scale of like 8 to 10, then that was too much for you. You need to dial that back again. Like, so I think you just need to work with your body and how you feel to deal with it. And if you're not sure, like there's plenty of physios, PTs that are physios as well that are in like combined industries. There's plenty of PTs anyway that, because they work with the body, will know, okay, we'll work with this. Or if you are working with a PT, they will link up with your physio. Like I've always said to my clients, like if you've got a physio, you let me know what they say and we'll do
Yeah.
some stuff with you here.
Yeah.
But we'll build you up gently and we'll just work with it, see what they say, and then go from there. But I think it's all about, yeah, don't ignore someone. If they've said to you, you probably shouldn't run for a little bit, you probably shouldn't run for a bit. I've had clients that have done that
Yeah.
before, and I'm like, I don't think it sounds good for you to run. Like, I think we should just work on the strength stuff and then we'll build your running back up. But we're going to have to like rein that in a little bit. And then they carry on going running, and then they're like, oh, and then they go and see a physio. And then the physio goes, you shouldn't run. And they go to me, oh, the physio told me I shouldn't run, so I'm not going to run. I'm like, I told you that 6 weeks ago, but it's okay, it's fine. Just because I'm not a physio doesn't mean you don't know the basics.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think it's hard as well. Like when you go and see someone to help, they often give you exercises that you should be doing, and like how so many people struggle to do those exercises, myself included, because they're so boring and monotonous, and it's not the fun part, is it? It's no one wants to go to spend 20 minutes moving their arm up and down or whatever it might be, but it is very boring stuff. And that's what I feel like physios and stuff fail to help you with, is actually like coaching you around fitting that into your life. Like for me, I was like, how am I actually going to force myself to do these exercises? And I was like, I have to include them in my training, my workouts, and I have to split it up. Like I'm not going to spend half an hour doing 10 exercises. Not that he gave me 10, but you know what I'm saying, in one go. Like if I do 3 training sessions a week, I'll do 2 exercises at the beginning of that one, 2 exercises at the beginning of that one, 2 exercises at the beginning of that one, split them up across the week. And I still do that now with some shoulder exercises that he gave me, because then it seems less boring and monotonous. And I've linked it to a previous habit and all that kind of stuff, because so many people just don't do them. And then of course you're not going to get better, because you don't just go to a physio or someone and they magically then go, you're fixed now. Like you have to put the work in, which is hard.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. I have so many clients that are like, oh, I've been given like 20 exercises to do by the physio and I have to do them every day or every other day or whatever. And I'm like, right, oh my God, like let's split that up, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
wouldn't do
Every
that
day
either.
as well. No.
Yeah. No.
Do those 20 exercises and spend an hour doing that. No. It's hard enough to get people to exercise in the first place. No, doing those kind of exercises. Yeah.
100%. But I would do, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, like, give people 3 exercises to do 3 times a week or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not,
yeah.
Sorry, what
I
were you
agree
going
with
to say?
that. And like you say, add it on to something you already do. Like when I did all my stuff, I would do it as a warm up before I do like my
Exactly.
weights and stuff because like you say, it's the easiest thing to do. It's sticking it onto another habit. So maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe you're boiling your kettle and you can stand and do some shoulder exercises or something. Like do a different
Yeah,
one every time you go and boil the kettle, especially I know a lot of people drink tea. So, that could be three different exercises, four different exercises throughout the day.
yeah,
So pair it, like you say, pair it with something that you do to make it easier. Um, because yeah, it's so easy just to go, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. Or like I also find a lot of people will do the exercises till they feel better and then they'll never do them again. And then it comes back later and then they're like, oh, I stopped doing my exercises. I'm like, there's a reason why you need to do them.
yeah, absolutely. And one physio I did have actually did have an app and the like videos and stuff because the osteo that I saw didn't. So I'd always forget or I'd try and remember what he told me to do. So I always think that's a good idea as well. So that, and then if you keep that, you can use that long term, like you say, actually don't stop doing it. Like
Mm.
I put them into my workout plan now, like I recorded them myself. So I'm like, that's what I do when I go into the gym, just as like that reminder. Because yeah, otherwise stop doing it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you could potentially go backwards. And that's, yeah, yeah. I always do that with all the stuff. I always add in hip flexor strengthening stuff, always add in shoulder bits, neck bits, anything like that into the workouts, just because then you're not having to do your gym bits as well as the exercises like a physio will give you and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is difficult. Having injuries are difficult. And it's so easy to suddenly be like all or nothing. They go, oh, wow, I've got an injury now. I can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything. Like, but for your mental health, for that sake, ask for some advice from someone or just do something that makes you happy. Even if it's just like, okay, I can't necessarily strength train anymore, but I'm going to dance around my living room 3 times a week. At least you're doing a little bit of exercise, sing your heart out, do
Yeah,
something that you can do.
definitely. And like for me, I'm still doing some exercises. Like I feel like my top half is still fine. My bottom half is like lost a lot of definition and I wasn't like hugely muscly, but I feel like I've lost some muscle there and strength because I'm not doing the big compound moves. But I keep saying to myself, don't just completely, I mean, I don't think I could because I do enjoy it, but don't just stop training altogether
Mm.
because that's not going to be beneficial to me. Like, it's still beneficial to do something at the gym and do what I can do rather than not doing anything at all.
Absolutely. And the more you keep doing that, you never know. Eventually, one day, maybe you'll be able to squat. Like I said to someone once, they had a motorbike accident, had to learn to walk again and stuff, and she'd always have pain when we did a leg press. And I said, look, we never went super heavy, but I said one day you'll come on this and there'll be no pain. And I remember that day she came on it and she was like, oh, my leg doesn't hurt when I do this anymore. And I'm like, yes, like this is so good. But she didn't give up.
Yeah,
She kept going.
yeah,
Like even when she couldn't walk, she kept trying. She kept going, like until the day that she could do it. And I think that's what you need to remember that there will be a day long time. It might be long term. Like I say, I've been struggling with my leg for 6 years, but I suddenly got to a point where I didn't notice it didn't hurt, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's taken me 6 years to get to this point, but we've got there,
definitely.
and it's
Definitely.
hanging on.
I think it is knowing that with injuries as well, they don't just go. Like it does take a really long time. Like you were saying,
Mm.
6 years, mine's been 3 years. Like it takes probably seeing a few people, trying different things, being consistent. It's not just going to happen within 2 weeks of going to see someone, or it's not. It depends what it is. Maybe some injuries, but a lot of injuries do take a
Mm.
long time to recover. So I think that's something to remember as well.
Yeah, and I think for women as well, because of our menstrual cycle and hormones, that does not help either, right? Because
No,
you have phases through your hormone phases in your cycle where you um you will have flare-ups of old injuries. You
Yeah,
will have phases of your cycle where you feel more emotional. So like these injuries will get you down. Like they will make you cry and feel like crap. Like you've got to fight that as well. And like people going into menopause and stuff, losing estrogen, all that protection, like they're
yeah,
gonna make injuries flare up and you're gonna yeah, it's even harder for a
yeah,
woman
definitely, definitely. Yeah,
dealing with
I mean,
all the
as
other
I said,
shit.
yeah,
Mm.
like I know I said to you before, when I'm due on my period, my back it always feels so much worse, and then it does feel a little bit better afterwards. So yeah, it's really true. I know you've mentioned it before about football players and stuff, or the team and
Mm.
things like that. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, doing the menopause as well. When you're losing that estrogen, your joints are aching, things feel more painful. But I think again, you can't give up. Like you work
Mm.
with your body, but don't stop moving because your body is literally meant to move. Like we're
Yeah.
not meant to be still. And if you, I know it feels hard, but actually keeping on moving is going to be benefiting your body, not making it worse. Obviously, I'm not saying go out and do crazy hit workouts or anything like that when you're aching and don't feel great, but
Mm.
moving it in some kind of way.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah, I've got a few people with arthritis and now they've started moving more and that they're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I can still feel the arthritis is there, but it doesn't hurt as much as it did." Like I'm being
Yeah,
able to do more, I'm being able to get out more. And then and then the days where like they don't do a lot, they're like, "Oh my God, my knees or my hips are even worse today because I've barely moved. I haven't got off the sofa, I haven't done this." And they're like, "Oh gosh, right, I need to make sure I move because otherwise this is worse."
yeah. I noticed before when I haven't trained, if I've been on a holiday or things like that, my muscles like start to hurt. I can actually feel it. I don't know if it's like in my mind, but I do feel like I need to go and like lift something. Do you know what I mean? It feels like I'm always having like withdrawals from not doing it.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. And people wonder why when we go away we do exercise and stuff. But I like for me, like I do it because I know I don't always like doing it. I went to a high rocks class today just because I was like, oh, I need to do some cardio. I'll just give it a go. But no, I died. Absolutely died. Hated every minute of it. It was horrific. Like I was keeping up with the guy next to me, trying to beat him in my head. That was the only thing that was getting me through. I was like, come on,
Yeah,
we can do this. Like he comes every week. I've never been before. Like I'm gonna stick with you. But it's just yeah, like you don't always enjoy it. And I know it's good for me. Like I know doing these things, you're like, yes, like afterwards you're like, oh, I've got so much energy, I feel better. So I think you need to remember, even if you've got an injury, like exercise is going to, yes, it might hurt, especially to start with when you're first starting to do things. Like I find clients are like, oh, my first 5, 10 minutes of my walk, I find this in a run. My first mile of my run, I'm like, oh, this is a slog. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, I'm into it now. And they'll go, oh, my knees feel better after I've done like 10 minutes, and then I can get into it and things don't
yeah,
hurt so much. It's getting through that first bit.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I never used to like training when I went on holiday, but actually, as I've gotten older, I like there's a gym. Sometimes when I like to get up, it's a bit of routine as well. Get up, get a bit of a workout done. Obviously, usually you're walking around, wandering around, doing stuff, so you're getting your steps in. It's just makes you feel good. There's no other
Yeah,
reason for it really. It's just feels good.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's just appreciating your body can move and doing it. And like you say, what's an hour of my day, like, or even half an hour, 40 minutes of my day when the rest of the day I'll just lay on the beach or do nothing. Like, you know,
Exactly.
like I can do that. And because it makes you feel better, like so many people are like, oh, why do you work out when you're on holiday? But actually, it makes me feel good. So, and I enjoy doing it. So I'm going to do it.
People always question people that do good habits. I see so much, like so many little posts about it, but it's so true. Like people always ask, why do you work out when you're on holiday, or why do you do that? But it's like it's just like the healthiness is seen as like this crazy. Why would you want to look after your body in a good way? Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Do you know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? Like, but when it's like, oh, should we go and get pissed? Yeah, let's do it. And no one's
Yeah.
going, why are you going out and getting drunk? It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have fun. It's like, why are you not drinking? And it's
Yeah.
like, that it's the healthy habits are seen as just this why are you doing that? And then the unhealthy habits are like, yeah, you're great, you're having fun, you're having a good time. It's, yeah. But also,
It is.
why does it matter if you're like, why does it matter to somebody else that you're exercising on holiday? Because it's really not
Yeah.
impacting them. But I think it's from a place of like, maybe I feel like, well, maybe I should work out on holiday, but I don't want to work out on holiday. Why is she doing that?
Mm.
Rather than it's that kind of mentality, isn't it?
Yeah. And you do you, hun. Like, so when we were in
Yeah.
Spain, I was running at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon and the like boiling hot, and you were like, I'm laying by the pool. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Have fun. See ya. But you never once
That's
were
not
like,
for me.
oh, why are you going for a run? Why would you go for a run in this heat? You're crazy. You're
No.
mental. Like, what's wrong with you? Because I enjoyed doing it. So I wanted to do it. Like, you were just like, all right, I'll see you when you get back. All right, cool. And then we just like lay by the pool.
Part of me had some of those thoughts, but I had that conversation in my head. Where is this coming from? And I was like, because I'm like, well, you know, maybe I should be running in the sun. And then I'd be like, well, I don't need to. I can do whatever I want to do, and I don't want to do that. And
Mm.
but I've had thoughts like that before. But I rather than expressing them, it's like, oh, where's that come from? What's going on
Mm.
here? Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like you thought about that rather than being like, why are you doing that? Like, and it
Yeah,
makes a
because
massive difference.
yeah, because it only comes from a place of like, it's almost a bit like, oh, maybe I should be, you know, it makes you feel, should I be going and running and doing that? Because someone else is doing that. But then it's like, well, no, you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your life and it's their life. Like,
No one
yeah,
is judging you.
no,
I certainly
exactly.
wouldn't be. I was thinking the quicker I run, the quicker I can lay back to that pool, next to that pool where Emma is.
Exactly. Exactly. I was down for the runs in the cool in the morning, but yeah, definitely not midday. Not for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Absolutely. But yeah, I think we just need to remember like an injury may change like the way you train for a while. It could be a year, could be less, could be more. Like, but
Yeah,
this doesn't mean like you need to stop exercising. Doesn't mean your health like journey's over. Like you just have to pivot. Think about your mental health and think about actually doing something small, even if you rein it back, is going to be better for you than doing nothing at all. And if you need help with that, go and find help. And it may take you multiple times to find someone. It may get frustrating, very much does get frustrating. Like you want to just stop doing it altogether. However, you need to persist. It's like with most things, but keep persisting. There will be obstacles in the way, but and you may feel like you're going like 5 steps forward and then take 2 steps back. And being having an injury is not linear. Like it's never going to go from bottom to top. It's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. So you just have to stick with it. And if you really need help, get someone that will help you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said. No, but it is true. It's like anything in life, isn't it? Nothing is linear. Like
No.
everything takes time, everything takes consistency, everything that's worth having takes hard work and patience, which I think most of us struggle to have, don't have.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it too, for sure. So I'm not, you know, calling anyone out, but yeah. Sorry, my laptop's about to die, so I'm like plugging it back in. That's why.
But yeah,
Walking
yeah, it's like
around.
anything, is it's like anything, isn't it? Like that people will like when they're starting their PT journeys, like want to get stronger in that. It doesn't happen in 12 weeks. You've got to keep going. You have to keep going forever. Like you might not enjoy some of it, but we don't, like I said to you earlier, I hated the high rocks, every minute of it. I hated doing it. I was like, what am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? This is not my
Yeah,
bag, but I still did it.
yeah, definitely. And I'm not a huge fan of yoga. Like, I definitely didn't enjoy this time as much as last time. I think I like the idea of yoga, but actually doing yoga, I don't like as much. But
Mm.
I'm told myself now, I'm like, no, do you know what? I'm going to go as long as I'm around once a week on a Saturday morning, 45 minutes out of my day. And it does make me feel better after going. It makes me feel more grounded. It makes me feel a little bit more calm and just stretches me out a bit. And I just quite, it's good for me. And I know I feel better after doing it. So I'm not going because I'm like, I love it, but yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it anyway because I know it's good for me.
Yeah, you go for all the other benefits afterwards.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I was listening to a podcast the other day and he was saying like it is hard because not everyone enjoys exercise, do they? Like
No.
I think we're quite lucky because there is exercise that we both enjoy, but a lot of people don't enjoy exercise. And that is harder because it is good for you and everyone should do it. But it's difficult when you don't actually enjoy it.
Mm, yeah, and it's a hard one to navigate, but at the end of the day, if you want to prevent things like osteoporosis, if you want to, from a woman's point of view, if you want to actually be able to run around with your kids and move and get up and down off the floor and not be a frail old lady in the corner, like we said before, there's things that you have to do that you don't, that you're not going to always like.
Yeah, so true. Cool. Should we wrap it up there?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you found that helpful in some way. If you do have any questions or any tips or anything, please feel free to reach out to us on our socials or message us or email us at fitgirlswhoeat93@gmail.com. If you have anything you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. Otherwise, yeah, you'll catch us in the next one.
Absolutely, you will. Enjoy
See you
yourselves. Have
later.
a nice afternoon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.